In life, I've only ever felt called to be two things. One is mom and the other is an assistant. I've been in the administrative assistant industry now for 30 years. And when I first graduated secretary school, back when that's what we were called, there was no such thing as virtual. The idea that you would have an assistant who didn't work in the office was absolutely unthinkable. I wrote the first edition of Hire the Right VA in 2016 and the second edition in 2019. At that time, many people still had not heard the term virtual assistant or VA. Most of my work centered around education on what a VA is, what we do, how we can help clients. And thanks to the pandemic, the VA industry no longer needs to be explained in the same manner. I no longer need to share the technical and logistical barriers VAs have already overcome. Remote working is very much the norm. What I am still very much educating clients on is all that VAs can do to assist them in their business, and it's why it's so important to hire the right VA. When I started my business over 10 years ago, there was not a single source of truth clients could trust. There wasn't anyone looking out for you, and it's why I've made it my mission to provide the resources to ensure that anyone who wants to hire the right VA, whether or not they hire me, has the opportunity to do so. And while I never felt called to be a business owner or entrepreneur, it was something I had to do to provide for my family and achieve freedom and flexibility I needed after becoming a widow in 2012. My husband was a business owner, and I know the intimate pleasures and pains of being a business owner. And so when I first started my business, I was like you. I was doing a lot of networking and meeting a lot of people, educating them on virtual assistants, what we do, how we could help them. And at the end of the conversation, they would ask me, "Can I hire you?" And I would say no. And they would look at me like I was crazy. And I would tell them, "I'm not that type of VA." And they would ask, "Well, where does one find that type of VA?" And I thought, gosh, I know tons of people. And I began making introductions like that for about a year. And then I had this light bulb moment and I thought, I wonder if someone would pay me to do this. And I tried it and that did. And I thought, perfect, this is what I'm going to do from now on. I changed my business model. I wrote the book that would become an Amazon bestseller. And I became the first VA matchmaker in the industry. Sticking to my mission, I share my complete proven process with you in my book, and I'll do the same on this podcast. The same proven process that allows me to have a 98% successful match rate. Plus, my clients enjoy an extremely high retention rate between 4 and 9 years working with their VAs. And if I was smart enough to charge during that first year, my retention rate would be even higher. I'll be providing you with resources I never have before, including virtual assistants. In all my past years in business, I have never shared or released VAs in my network. But now that I've been able to scale my business, I can do that for you. And let me be clear, these are carefully vetted VAs, some of who work with me very closely. No one can just pay to be added to this list. You deserve better than that. Also, I'll be offering pod classes that will dive deeper into these topics, but at the same time, save you time and be short on time. And I'll do this to meet my goal and my mission. Secondly, I'll do it because not everyone has the ability to work with me, and that's okay. It doesn't mean they don't deserve to hire the right VA. My husband had me for his business, and not everyone who has a wife has an executive assistant who can also handle the administrative work. Third, I just don't believe it's possible to receive with a closed fist. I've benefited tremendously from the generosity of others, many of whom I would not be in business today if not for their generous spirit. And lastly, because my family is everything to me. I started my business, maybe like you, to enjoy freedom and flexibility. When my husband passed away, my son was in college in another state. My daughter was in high school. My siblings, nephews, and niece were on the other side of the country, and we all needed one another, and taking time off from work all the time was not an option. Being away from my family was also not an option. I didn't want to stop working. I just wanted the ability to take my work with me wherever I went and never miss an opportunity to be with my family when they needed me or I needed them the most. My clients have their own families they care deeply about. It is their driving force that ensures their tireless determination to succeed at all costs. Oftentimes, they put themselves last. And it really does break my heart when I meet with clients who are working 6 and 7 days a week, many well over 12-hour days, to give their families all the best life possible. And you're often absent, whether physically or mentally, because there's always something to do in business. Growing up, I had family members who owned businesses that they were married to. And the reason I said I would never own my own business, we couldn't go anywhere or do anything that wasn't restaurant related. We spent many days and holidays there. And in construction, it was so hit and miss that it was never possible to miss a job opportunity, no matter what was happening in our lives at the time. Couple that with people who had a really strong work ethic and mentalities like, I'll sleep when I'm dead, or if you miss work, you're in the hospital or dead already. And it's the reason I said again, I would never own my own business. If you can relate to my family stories, my business journey, you are my person, and I am here to assist you. Do not worry about what you don't know. I will share it all with you. I will share it with you quickly. And you can certainly read my book cover to cover and it will be worthwhile. But I know my audience and I know how busy you are and how valuable your time is. It's why I created this podcast. And it's why in this podcast, I will share the most frequently asked questions and answers with you. I will walk you through my proven step-by-step processes for matching you with the right virtual assistant, the VA who will have the most immediate impact on your business and allow you to recoup your investment quickly. And if you're still wondering why you should trust me, I hope it gives you comfort to know that I've been featured in Entrepreneur, ABC News, Forbes, News and World Report, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Most recently, I was named the top virtual assistant consultant of the year and a top woman in business. But more than that, I have a background in being an executive assistant. I've been in this industry for 30 years. I know what good looks like. I know how to tell if someone else is good. I've also been a virtual assistant. I'm the first virtual assistant matchmaker, which others in the field can't boast. And like you, I'm a business owner and entrepreneur. I know what it feels like on both sides of the coin and how I'm able to match so successfully. And after matching hundreds of clients with virtual assistants over the years and consulting with just as many, teaching and training new and current VAs, I know how to match clients with the right VA. And my proven method of matching based on communication strategy and ideal client fit works every time. You can dive deeper with my pod classes and take the PVA self-assessment. Both are resources I'm so excited about. Of course, I created the PVA Interactive Hiring Workbook, which you can download, and it'll help you organize all the instructions, best practices, notes, and information you need for every step of the hiring process. And lastly, don't forget, this is the first time I'm sharing VAs for you to contact and hire directly. When clients ask me, when is the right time to hire a VA? My answer is always the same: before you need one. Every day you wait, you're not keeping your head above water. You are slowly drowning. And I don't want you to let days turn into weeks or weeks into months. Don't allow yourself to suffer through analysis paralysis. Instead, begin using the resources I am sharing. You will get the list of vetted VAs. You will have the interactive downbook. You will have everything that you need and didn't even know to ask. You will feel like I'm personally matching you with the right VA as I take you through the process. The Hire Your VA podcast is equipping you for just that. Hire your VA.